Hey there, thanks for joining me. It's Sunday, October the 10th. I am looking at the Forex markets in this weekend webinar video, and I'm looking at the dollar index right now, weekly chart. Dollar had a little bit of a correction to the downside, still remains well within its bull trend parameters. Moved to the downside, as I say, and then a strong bounce, so long lower wick and a green body is pretty positive for this week. I don't think we want to fight this trend. I love reading Twitter and everyone saying, oh, the dollar's overdone, it's going to collapse, look out, all you dollar bulls, you're all going to get so hurt when it happens. Yeah, well, good luck with that, because I don't see it happening myself. I've tried fighting the trend in the old days, thought I could be clever and pick the top for this, that, and the other market, and it's just too difficult. So I just stick with the trend. I'll buy into a support level, and until it's obvious that the trend has changed, and that certainly is not the case here. We've got a higher low than the previous low, which means we are still in a bull trend. Don't know whether we'll get a higher high, or we could always get a double top here. I'm not saying that won't happen, but right now I am a bull of the dollar. Okay, let's have a look at some of the dollar pairs. The Forex markets are really confusing, I'm not going to lie. I'm not finding them easy. I'll show you some of the things which are making some sense. Now, the Aussie dollar is not part of the dollar index basket of currencies, nor is the New Zealand dollar. I think it's made up of the dollar yen, the Swiss, the Canadian, the euro. I think that's it. You can correct me if I've missed one out. I think maybe I've missed one out. Anyway, right, so the Aussie dollar is not part of the dollar basket that makes up the dollar index, and there is what I believe to be a bear flag. We've got bear flags all over the place. That's what happens in a bear market. So if that is a bear flag, and I think it is, we have broken to the downside, not a surprise. Look at it on the hourly chart. There we go. Probably need to redraw the trend line on the hourly chart. Yes, I will. Let me take that off. There's not really much else to say. We're in a bear trend. We've just completed a bear flag, which is bearish. That's about all I can say, which means we're going to get some moves to the downside. There it is. We broke down. We kindly retested the trend line, as we often do, and down we go. Hourly moving averages starting to turn negative again after that sideways period in the bull flag. So it all looks pretty negative. Strong dollar, blah de blah. What else can I say? Bullish engulfing candle didn't do anything other than trigger that sideways move into the bear flag. You remember that bullish engulfing candles don't mean that the market is going to turn around in a V-shaped recovery. It can mean that we're only going to trade sideways for a little while so that the oversold condition gets unwound and then continue to the downside. And that's what I think we're going to do. New Zealand dollar, similar sort of picture. Here it comes. Similar picture. Bullish engulfing candle there. Bit of a recovery, only as far as, well, this confused me now. I will admit, I was getting short up there around 57.90, and then I stopped myself out just as the market turned around. So that was really frustrating. That is the way things go. I do have losing trades. That was, where was my bull flag? I think it was that one. Anyway, yeah, I think it was that one. That was my trend line for the bull flag on my hourly chart. So there you go. I think that the flag's been broken. We've got some negative crossovers on the moving averages on the hourly chart. Down we go. Outlook negative for the US dollar for the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. As I said, dollar strength. Now the euro is just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I can't make much sense of it. I'm just going to show you quickly on the daily chart. Look, we're in a bear trend. There's no doubt about that. But trying to time a move into a short position, I'm really struggling with it. I'm not going to say any more. I write my reports. I put my levels on there. But it does look like we are going to continue to the downside. Nicely unwound an oversold situation. Didn't quite get overbought. That's not a surprise, because you don't necessarily get overbought on a bounce in a bear trend before the bears jump in again and start getting aggressive about selling to the downside. I'll look at the Canadian dollar. Now, this also confused me on the break below 135.75. I didn't think that would happen. I need to put some fib lines on here. Here we go. There we are. There we go. 135.00. That was your buy level with the second set of fibs, and off we went. So again, I think this is just consolidation. Maybe not really a bull flag, is it? But I think it's a consolidation before we break higher. We've only just really broken out of a big sideways pattern. So I do think that this is only the beginning of this bull move for the dollar versus the Canadian I talked about it last week, so I don't need to go over it again. This week was mostly just sideways action, bit of a correction and a recovery, so not much point in repeating myself. The dollar, and moving on to the yen, we've got the dollar yen. Now this is really quite funny. This is almost like the market, the traders, whatever, investors are just creeping into this pair, the dollar versus the yen, and just gently pushing this up, just to test the Bank of Japan, the Ministry of Finance. Will they come in again like they did on the 22nd of September and intervene, sell the dollar, buy the yen? It's interesting to see. Well, it's taken us a long time to creep up, a couple of weeks for us to creep up towards that level where the BOJ did come and intervene, 145.89. So that's it. That's the level. If we break above there, the bulls might feel confident and might think, okay, we can push this a little bit higher, maybe get another 100 or 200 pips out of this before the next intervention. But I don't think that's going to, I don't think the Bank of Japan can just do one intervention and say, oh, well, that's it. You've beaten us, lads. Okay, cable all over the place, obviously. Currency markets are a bit all over the place anyway, but this one is even more so for obvious reasons. We all know what's been going on with the UK government. Now, nice bounce to some resistance up there. We've turned around. We got a little bit overbought. We didn't last long in the overbought territory. We're clearly in a bear trend. What else can I say? When we hit resistance, we turn around, and that's it. I've got levels on the sheet, and I think we just stick with the trend at the moment. Now, finish up with gold. You know the story about gold and the longer term picture. As long as we're above sort of 1690, 1680, then the outlook is positive. But we are in a bear trend, and I don't think that's going to last. We know interest rates are going up in the States. We know that that's not good for gold. We know that gold is not an inflation hedge. Never has. Well, maybe it was in the 70s. I'm not really sure, but it certainly isn't now. Gold has got overbought. Gold hit some resistance around the 1720, 1730 area. Actually, 1725.30, that was our sell area this week, and that really did work well, didn't it? We got the recovery. Once I was confused that we got above 1680, I'm not going to lie, but we went straight to my next target, which worked quite well if you jumped onto the long, and then selling up there worked quite well, and then we were buying it down at 1703, 1700. So the levels really did work well. I was really happy with that. I hope you managed to catch 2 or 3 of those trades. Back down to 1690 on Friday. That held the downside, so did not much of a bounce, so there wasn't really a huge profit opportunity in buying into that level. But 1690, 1680 is definitely the key level of the week. I think we'll probably break below it, and that will be the sell signal. That's all I'm going to say about the currency markets for today. I do have a trade idea for you in the New Zealand dollar versus the Japanese yen, and the euro versus the Aussie dollar, and the Aussie dollar versus the Canadian dollar. I'm trying to look at other Forex pairs that I don't normally report on during the week, just for more opportunities, because I'm just not seeing that many in the Forex pairs that I cover in the dollar and yen pairs. I mean, the euro yen's all over the place. I can't see anything in there. Okay, I just want to remind you that, okay, if you go to daily if you click the menu button and hit daily analysis and signals on my website, you can subscribe to any of the packages, for the Forex packages, or even the stock market packages, or if you like the metals, gold, silver, oil. Anyway, they're all only 50 quid. Bargain. Why are you not subscribed? Now, here's the deal. If you open an account with my recommended broker, go to this page. I'll put the link in the description box. You can click on that, open an account. When you've done your first trade, let me know. I will give you a subscription of your choice to any of these markets that I've showed you, free for a month. Saves you 50 quid. That's all you got to do to get your and then you can use that $100, hopefully double it with my amazing signals. Now, if you go to my blog, I'm sure you probably visit my blog regularly now, but if you don't, please do, because I do post lots of free analysis on there and some educational stuff. And I've just put the FTSE and the DAX 100, the FTSE 100 and the DAX 40 report up there for Monday. So there you go. That's free for you to read, and I hope you can make some money out of that. Okay, please like, share, subscribe. Do me all the favors that you can to help me promote my YouTube channel, and we'll chat again next week.